I rise today to do two things. One, it's to thank the American people, thank Congress, and thank two presidents for the assistance that they gave to the Gulf Coast after Hurricanes Katrina and Rita, and even after the BP oil spill. But at the same time, I rise because just in the last 2 months, President Obama has issued 27 disaster and emergency declarations across 18 states. And the fact that this Congress and the last Congress was able to help the citizens of the Gulf Coast gave great comfort to Americans to know that this government would not let them fend for themselves when a natural disaster hits. However, under the policies of this Congress, we've decided that any disaster assistance would require a pay-for, and that would leave a large number of our American tax-paying citizens out to fend for themselves when they simply can't do it. So when we look at the tornadoes and we look at the flooding that's occurred in the last 2 months, and we're talking about states like Minnesota, Tennessee, Arkansas, Georgia, Missouri, Mississippi, Louisiana, I think it should be the policy of this body that we're going to be wherever our citizens need us. And if you look at the fund which FEMA uses to pay for disaster response, recovery and mitigation projects, it's facing a $1 billion shortfall this fiscal year. And if you look at the entire hole, the hole is much bigger. You're talking about at least a $3 billion hole for the fiscal year 2012. That does not even include estimates of the incidents and the disasters I talked about earlier, the many tornadoes and the massive flooding that we've incurred in the last 2 months. That's worrisome, but let's take it a step further. Let's assume that, or even not assume, but there's a possibility that we would see another event similar to the flooding, similar to a hurricane. Hurricane season started June 1st, and I think that it's absolutely irresponsible for us to tell the American people it's disingenuous, it's wrong, it's sinful to say we're not going to help you if we don't cut the budget somewhere else. We have not done that in the past, and I don't think that we should do it. The great thing for me today, I get to stand up here as a person whose district benefited tremendously from the fact that we have water diversions on the Mississippi. And in order to save Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and New Orleans, Louisiana, we opened those diversions, which flooded small towns, small farmers. And that happened up and down the Mississippi River. So I stand here today as a beneficiary of other people's flooding and other people's destruction that they suffered. And I stand here today as someone who has not suffered a lot, saying the government was there for me when Katrina and Rita hit, and the government should be there for the people in Mississippi, Minnesota, Georgia, Missouri, Texas, Louisiana, and everywhere that the tornadoes hit. So this amendment simply does what I think is the fair thing to do, a consistent thing to do, and something that's deeply rooted in our American history, and that is to help people that can't help themselves. And I would just simply ask both sides of the aisle to join together in unity and let the people of this country know that if a tornado knocks down your house, no fault of your own, we're going to be there to help you, no matter if other administrations have squandered and spent money that has left us in a deficit. We will still be there to help you, and I yield back the balance of my time.